Yeah, you can actually sort of see that as we go through. So I know I just been to some of our events before. I don't think anybody else has. Josh is with us in the studio, as they say, and we've got one other that's due to be here, so he'll be arriving. Hopefully you've all got cups of tea and biscuits, because we can't supply those, I'm afraid. Josh got loads of biscuits here.
I'll take one for the team.
And cups of tea.
I'll cover them all.
So this is the first one I've done of these online and physically as well. So we're going to have to see you're my guinea pigs for this one. So I've got too many computer screens all over the place. So I might be looking around. I've got the good old flip chart, which hopefully you can all see the flip chart behind me. So I may well be doing a little bit of stuff on the flip chart as well. And I'll make sure that you can see that as we go through. It's a little bit top of my head, isn't it? Does that see a little bit better? That's better. So welcome everybody to our. We'll go back to here now. It's not going to work. There we go. So our mastery workshop is one of a series of 6 that we've put together, really to cover the foundations of building a business. Okay, so what do we really need to do to build this sort of great business? And these are our sort of 6 workshops. So self-mastery, which is really about time management, finance, sales, customer mastery, and team. And obviously today is marketing, so really about marketing. So really what I want you to sort of, hopefully you've all got a piece of paper with you that you can actually write down, what you need to write. So please do take notes. It's a really important part of learning as we go through this. And one of the key things I want you to sort of write down first is, what do you want to get out of marketing? What is important for you? What would be the #1 goal? Now there is a chat box around, so if you can't speak, then please do put any comments into the chat box. And we'll deal with those as we go through. And as long as there's not too much background noise, I might have to mute you if there's a bit too much background noise as we go. But please use the chat box, and that we can put anything down. So the first thing I want you to do is write down what would be the #1 thing you want to get out of this workshop today. So what's important for you when it comes to marketing for you to actually learn. And if you write that in the chat box, once you've done it, these guys can write it down on a piece of paper, and then we'll make sure that we cover as much of that as we possibly can. Because for all of these workshops, they are all, I change it every time because the audience I've got is different. So, that's why I always say come back to these again and again and again, because there's always stuff to learn. Even though the basics, the fundamentals are the same, the bits that you'll learn each time will be slightly different. So just take a couple of minutes, write something down. I'll keep an eye on the chat box as it comes through. Only Sophie's put something at the moment. And because having an idea of what you want to get out of any workshop is vitally important. It really does help you get a feel for getting more out of this, and it will steer me as well because it is such a big topic, marketing, that it's good to know what it is. So I'm going to start with Josh, who's in the room. Yeah. So what do you want to get out, Josh?
Just learn a bit more about kind of strategies of marketing and how to tailor the content that we're marketing to the right people or the right interest.
Yeah. So tailoring the content to the right people. That is a key one. So, Chris?
I'd be interested in return on investment. What's the most effective marketing strategy to employ in current times? Okay. So best return on investment for where we are at the moment. So Jeff, I've got to look over here, I'm afraid. So Russ, nice to see you, Russ. Good to get you in. So Jeff, social media marketing. I need to learn to set up professional Facebook and Instagram. Okay. I'm not going to go into the intricacies of how you use the methods today. That in itself could be a day's course. But I think you've got what I'm going to go through will give you a much better idea of what you need to do when you actually come to Facebook marketing. Okay, you've got to go through everything I'm going to go through today before you even decide which platform to use. Good. Anybody else? So 2 key new ideas, how to better market. Yep, excellent. You'll get at least 2 new ideas. They'll definitely come through. Sean was awareness of brand service provided. Sean, can you, if you take yourself off mute, can you just explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, so basically we're in the healthcare industry, so we have a brand that we've had for a number of years. It's in healthcare, care homes. Obviously, our target market is the elder audience, but the people placing them is from a younger audience. So utilizing the different methods to attract people to know more about us, about our care homes, about what we do.
Yeah.
Because where it used to be word of mouth in the past, it's now use of social media, use of the website, use of specialized review sites to make people aware about people aware about us. So it's how do we market ourselves better to tell people about our brand and why they should be committed to us rather to someone else.
Cool. Okay, so it's getting that awareness and to a slightly different demographic as well. Yeah. So we're changing our demographic. So excellent, good. I think Fatima, brand awareness in the education sector. Yeah, that's important there. The psychology behind marketing and what is most effective. Yeah, we're definitely going to go there. And online marketing strategies. That I think you'll get out. I mean, that was Aaron. Aaron, if I haven't covered that one at the end, please bring that up at the end, and I'll tweak it slightly for what you're talking about.
Okay.
And Sophie, how best to report the targeted marketing to compare productivity. Okay, so looking at the KPIs between the two. So we'll definitely be thinking about that. Actually, we'll get onto that quite soon. Good. I think that's everybody's had their input. Jeff, did you? I think yours was an early one, wasn't it, Jeff?
It was.
It was cool. Everyone's had their input, so brilliant. Good. Okay. So it is important. So I'm pretty sure we're going to cover all those. Make a note. If I haven't covered it by the end, then please bring it up, and I'll make sure I spend 5 minutes at the end to go through it with you. So the first question, and a few of you sort of talking about brand, how do I get my brand out there? I think the number one question for me is, what is marketing? Okay, really, if you're not clear what it is, then it's very difficult to do it well. Okay, so what do you think? Give me some thoughts on what marketing is. Have we got any qualified marketing people in the room? Let me just admit, there's Conway to join us. So have we got any trained marketing individuals? No, in a way that's good, because no one can actually challenge me on anything. I just make up whatever I want. On the other hand, I do like a bit of a challenge when it comes to this, because I do ask this to anyone professionally marketing trained. I say, well, okay, so what is it you do? Tom. And they'll come up with lots of fancy ideas. So give me some ideas. Has anybody got something they want to? Just promotion yourself and talk about it if you want to. Josh, you kick off. What's marketing? What do you think marketing is for you?
Getting a message or a product out there to people that you want to sell it to.
Okay.
Encouraging people that perhaps have passively come to you to come back, and attracting new people to come.
Yeah, so getting the awareness and to getting people out there. Chris?
So presenting a product or a service to a market and creating awareness and creating awareness.
That's a big one that always comes up, creating awareness. We're trying to create awareness of our brand and what we do. Any others? Anything? It's in the chat box, please put it in. Or just unmute yourself and contribute.
Lost the chat box.
I've lost the chat box. It's there somewhere, Jeff. I don't know. You have to dig around for it. If you get stuck, just hit chat again on the bottom toolbar. It does pop up. So when we look at this and say what is marketing, a lot of people come up with the 7 Ps. It's something that's taught at university. If you go on a marketing degree, they talk about this: product, promotion, price, place, people, process. It's all great. There's nothing wrong with this. What you said, brand awareness, it's all relevant. But I would still say those are the part of the how we do it. They're all things about helping us to actually do it. What actually is marketing, to me, is very, very simple. Marketing is about lead generation. Okay, we're only doing this to get an inquiry. It's to help us build our sales. Okay, it's not sales. Sales is a completely different set of skills. Okay, and I do that in my sales mastery workshop. Marketing is all about lead generation. How do I get somebody to make an inquiry to buy what I want to do, what I sell? Okay, brand awareness, yes, but why do I want to put brand awareness? Yeah, I want brand awareness because I want people to pick up the phone, go to my website, take action to actually move along to actually buy from me. Okay, so that's what we've always got to think. Whatever we do in marketing is purely there to generate a lead. It's not, I don't think it's necessarily a sale. I'm not trying to sell for marketing. I'm just trying to get them to take action, to do something so that they're ready to be sold to or to actually buy from me. Okay, so if you imagine you're a sweet shop, okay, your display, in your window is marketing, because the sole purpose of your display is to get people who are walking past your shop to go, oh, that looks nice, and come in the shop and then be ready to buy from you. Okay, so it's basically your shop window, which is your brand, which is all of these things, but it's there to actually drive people in. So what we've got to look at is if lead generation is the most important thing for marketing, then this is my little formula for life success. Okay, so I'm pointing over here, but you can't actually see me point over there. It's on the screen. It's weird. So B times do equals have. So please do write this one down, because every workshop I come to, this is at the heart of it. Okay, so have is our dreams and our goals, where we want to be. Yeah. B is our attitude, knowledge, and skills. And do is the action that we take, our plan and our action. Okay. And for those people that have been on my courses before, you'll know this, but so Chris, you keep quiet. So for the rest of you, which one of those three, B, do, and have, is the most important? They're all important for success, but which one do you think is the most important? So just raise your hands if you think it's, raise your hands if you think it's the B, if you think it's the knowledge that we have. So Josh, we've got one raised hand for the, so we've got Russ as well. So we've got two for the B. Yep. What about the do? Where are my doers? It's about getting activity done. So Jeff is a doer. Yeah. Sean is a doer. I can't see. Yeah. Aaron's a doer. Good. Yeah. We like the doers. There are no handouts. There are no handouts. You've got to take notes, guys. So there's not a lot on here. There's it's very simple. That's as complicated as my slides get. So there's nothing you can't write down. So it's about writing this down. You've got the tape. You've got the recording to go back to later as well. So yeah. So what about the have? Anybody want the have? Anybody that can't? If you've, there is a raise hand button on Zoom. If you go down to the say, I'm not sure if it works if your video is off. That's the only thing. So we've got do. So Fatima's a do. So really, I suppose about 80% of you are either a B or a do. And that's if I did this survey across the world, I'd probably come out with that. About 80% say they're either doers or they're B. The reality, though, is the most important for success is the have. Okay, people who are successful in life have got real clarity what they want to have. You know, what does success look like? If we're not clear what, in marketing terms, what is it we want to have in marketing, then how do we know who we need to be or what we need to do? The have drives everything, okay? You know, otherwise we end up doing stuff, and we can do loads of marketing, and I can waste shitloads of your marketing money, okay, by doing stuff. But if we're not clear what we want to have, then how do I know whether I'm actually on the right track or getting what I want to get? So the first thing we've really got to understand is, you know, what are your marketing goals? You know, where do you want to be in a period of time? Okay, so what I want you to think about, if I said to you, marketing is lead generation. Okay, that's what it is. It's lead generation. In that context, what are your marketing goals for the next 3 months? Okay, so what, as a result of whatever you do in marketing, what is it you actually want to achieve? So just take 2 minutes, write down a goal. Okay, so what a goal would be. Okay, so just write down, you know, your marketing goal for the next 3 months, not the year, just the next quarter. So if you're not on the video or mic, if you want to just put your answer in the chat box, and I'll pick that up in a second. So Aaron, let's start with you. What's
So for me, obviously, it's website based. So driving traffic to the site, boosting sales, and increasing interaction. So, you know, positive reviews, social media, likes, followers, etc.
So increasing sales, boosting traffic. What was the other one?
And interaction. So positive reviews, likes, sharing. You know,
and more interaction.
Yeah,
cool.
pretty much.
Okay, good. Hold that thought for a second. Yep, good.
Okay.
Who else is Sean? What have you got? So you typing it out. What's what we got? So Sean, marketing goal. Oh, sorry, I've got to put my bloody glasses on. So 10 recruitment jobs to recruit for the cruise industry. Cool. Yeah. And 6 new bookings per week by 2 months to generate 12 to 18 hours of sales. Excellent. Good. So what about you, Josh? What's
getting some sort of content onto the website to show what we've been doing for the last period of time and how that makes us better for the next period of time, because ours is a bit weird in that it's a bit it's the marketing for our business. So we're a sort of marine consultancy firm, so we have people from all different industries that come to look to us, so it's a bit weird, our marketing strategy. So getting our message out there to let people come to us.
Okay, cool, good. Chris?
My marketing goal would be to deliver 200 leads a month.
200 leads a month. Okay.
So 200 inquiries, because I've got approximately 25% conversion rate.
Yeah.
So my target is to sell 50 units a month. If I get 200 leads,
yeah,
I'll make 50 sales.
So you're looking for 200 leads. So if we look at so if we go back to Aaron, look, I'm not picking on anybody. You know, I use you guys as examples because it's so relevant. That when we set goals, yeah, if I take Aaron's goals, Aaron, your goals were increase, boost, and what was the other word?
Drive traffic, boost sales, increase.
Yeah,
but pretty much more.
Yeah, more increase. So what I call those are fluffy goals.
Right.
Okay, because you know, more this, increase that, or what is that? What is more? Is one
not so specific?
More? It's not specific enough, is it? Oh. Okay. Whereas if you take Jeff's goal and Chrissy's goal, you know, I call those goals I can hang my coat on.
Okay.
Okay. So Fatima was able to increase traffic to our website by 10 to 15%. Great, excellent. So
So now once you put a number to something, now you've got what I would call a goal. You've got something that is, if we go back to the SMART goal, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic in a time frame. Yeah, I generally add inspiring and emotional to that as well. Okay, because it's got to mean something. It's got to get you excited. You know, one more of this and two more of that isn't exciting. You know, Chris's goal there of 200 more leads coming in, you know, that's something that is worth going for. Yeah, and it should, to me, a goal should be stretching. Yeah, it should be something that is achievable and realistic, but a little bit scary. You know, a personal best. I've never achieved. You know, if you're into running, yeah, you don't go running in a marathon or something to go, oh, I'll just run and do a little bit more. You know, you're set your goal. You're set. My personal best is, you know, 3 hours 50. You know, 3 hours 50. I'm going to try and beat my personal best. That gives you the motivation and the inspiration, and also gets the brain working. Right, now I've set the goal. How the hell am I going to achieve that? How am I actually going to actually make that happen? That's when marketing really works. If you set the fluffy goals, then all you end up doing is fluffy stuff. Yeah, you start doing stuff because it just feels like I'm doing something rather than not doing something, but it's not taking you into that right direction. So what we've got to do before we even start marketing, so you know, before we even go into Facebook, social media, and what it is, we've got to start with the end in mind. And for me, the end in mind is we're all in business, okay? We're all here to try and generate profit. So we've got to, in our heads, as the owners of our business, or you know, for those that don't own your business, you've got to talk to the owners and say, right, guys, how much profit are we trying to generate in this period? Now, I'm going to use a quarter, but this could be, you know, you start with 12 months and come backwards, okay? Once I know how much profit I'm going to make, you've got to understand the relationship between profit and sales. Okay, now that might just be a simple calculation of 10%. We make 10% profit. So if I want, you know, £1,000 of profit, I need to do £10,000 of sales. Okay, so whatever that ratio is, you've got to know those numbers. If you're not sure on your numbers, that's why I run a finance mastery workshop, yeah, to actually get you confident in actually knowing these numbers. For me, business is a game. If you don't know how to score the game, you can't play the game. Okay, so we've really got to understand our profit level to our sales ratio. Then I need to know what my average transaction value is. So every time I do make a sale, how much do I actually make? So if I'm trying to do £10,000 of sales, yeah, how many sales do I need to make £10,000? Well, if my average transaction value is 1,000, yeah, then I need to make 10. If my average transaction value is 100, yeah, I need to make 1,000. If it's £1, I need to make 100,000. So different marketing strategies will actually come into play depending on what level of lead generation you need. Then you've got to understand, right, if I did nothing, if I actually sat on my arse for the next 3 months, did nothing in marketing, how much business would I actually get anyway? So from my repeat business, my existing contacts, etc., how much am I actually going to get in? Because a lot of us will actually, get business in no matter what we do. So if you don't know what that baseline is, you'll suddenly think, I've done all this marketing, yeah, I've got this business in, that marketing's great. Well, you could have done that no marketing, got the same amount of business in. So you've got to start thinking, where does my existing business coming from? From my existing business, and how much do I need from new business? Okay, we've got to know these ratios, new business, existing business. Now, if you're a startup, it's easy because I have no existing business. It's all new business. Okay, but for some of you, you get business no matter what you do because of work you've done in the past. Okay, but you've got to know that ratio and be able to split it. Then the next number you've got to know is your conversion rate. So if I got 10 leads in, how many of those leads would I, on average, convert? Okay, and this is sales, basically. This is the sales element. I take a lead, I convert that lead. So for Chris, you said you wanted to get 200 leads in.
Yeah.
Because your conversion rate is 25%. So of the 200, you're going to make 50 sales.
50 of those,
yeah. Your average transaction per sale?
revenue amount or profit amount? Profit is 1,295 last month, but average for the year is 1,000.
Yeah. So let's say it's £1,000 profit per sale, 50 sales, that's 50 grand. So suddenly now we know what we're trying to achieve. We're starting to put stakes in the ground that we're actually aiming for. Once we know our conversion rate, that then will calculate our leads. So how many leads do I actually need? Okay, so we're working backwards, not from I'm going to do this marketing. It's actually marketing with a purpose. I need to generate 100 leads, therefore this is the amount of marketing I need to do. And from that then dictates the activity. Okay, so how much activity do I need to do to generate that number of leads at that conversion rate for that amount of new business, on that transaction value, for that sales value, and that will drive my profit. See, what we have to understand is business is a multiple set of games, yeah, within games. So the big game is I need to generate profit, and then the smaller games are I need to generate sales, I need to generate leads, I need to generate new business, existing business. We have to understand which game we're playing at which time, because that then drives the rules of those games. Okay? So if there are any questions, guys, just type them in. It will come up on this screen, but then I have to look at this one to actually read it. So excuse me while I twist around. So this is really important, okay? So really do write that down. I'm not expecting you to know those numbers now or those rates, but over the next, nothing else you get from today, yeah, over the next 3 months, I would say focus on that one, yeah, more than actually doing marketing stuff. Because this is what will drive it. This is what will really dictate to you what you actually need to do. So once we've got this, so that's sort of the numbers side of things. That sets our goals now. Now we know what we're trying to achieve. By how many leads do we need, and when I get those leads, what impact is that going to have on my business? So that's the goals. If we move to the B now, from the B do have the beliefs. So we've all got these beliefs around certain things. Okay, so something we hold to be true. Now, for some of us who aren't natural marketers, yet we have what I would call limiting beliefs. We have beliefs that push us forwards, and there's beliefs that hold us back. Okay, and some of the limiting beliefs around marketing, you know, are what's actually holding you back. And to me, one of the biggest things in this comes to the fact that do you see marketing as an investment, or do you see marketing as a cost? Now, I come from an accountancy background. You know, I was in practice. I was the FD of a number of companies. You ask me as a finance director, you know, where does marketing sit on the profit and loss account? Yeah, generally speaking, it sits as a where does it sit? As a cost, yeah, as an overhead. It sits. So if I want to make more profit, what do I need to do with my costs? Cut them.
Are they still there?
Yeah, no, they are. Yeah, we need to cut them. Okay, so therefore, you know, if my belief is marketing is an expense, is a cost, if I want to make more money, then I will reduce the amount of marketing spend, not increase the amount of marketing spend. What we have to get over is our belief has to change. Is marketing should be an investment. For every pound I put in, I want to get at least £1 back in profit, not in sales, in profit. Now, if I could guarantee you a marketing machine that for every £100 you put in, I could generate you £1,000 of profit, how much would you invest in my marketing machine?
Everything.
Everything. Was that around 10 quid, was it? Yeah, you'd chuck more money in, because every £10 would guarantee, you know, £100 back. Now, if that was the case, then you when people say how much should I spend on marketing, I'd say as much as you possibly get your hands on, and more. Borrow money, you know, raid the bank, get your bounce back loans, stick it all in marketing. If that was the case. But the problem is, that's what it should do, but because we don't have this marketing machine and because we don't understand it, therefore we don't take that risk. Too big a risk. We chuck money into this black hole and we sit there and we go, oh, I hope it's going to work. But invariably, because we don't understand it and we don't do it properly, it doesn't work. Okay. Now, the only way we really know it works, because there's this leading and lagging, what I do now is going to have an impact later on. There's a time frame difference. This is what causes our problem. Okay, because what the activity, if I post something on Facebook now, doesn't lead to me having money in my pocket tomorrow. So I've got to understand the machine that I'm building and the metrics in it in order to be able to come to this point where, I see marketing as an investment and I want to spend more money in it because I know the more money I spend in it, the more I get. Yeah, but that's going to take us time to actually achieve that. Okay, so this is, I'm not expecting you to know these numbers at the moment, but we've got to put the plan together to actually extract them so we can understand them. Okay, so I had a client a few years ago. He was marketing on Facebook. His Facebook advertising spend was £100,000 a month, just on Facebook ads. Okay, and he would do that on a credit card, and pay that every single week. Because he knew he had. I mean, I've never seen a spreadsheet like it. He knew exactly, his ratios, his click-throughs, his rates, all of that he knew, and he could monitor it. And as soon as the activity was going up, he would then commit the money to it, and then it would go up, and then eventually it would start to come down again, and then he would reduce his spend. He was just like investing on the stock exchange, investing in commodities, investing in currency. Okay, if you're a currency broker, investment banker, you've got years of experience that allows you to make those decisions. You don't always get it right, but you have protection to actually come out of it. We've got to see marketing in a same level of skill that's needed. Okay, if we don't understand the numbers, then we're just doing stuff, for woolly goals, fluffy goals, then we're not going to get anywhere. Okay, and your results are going to be poor. So, if we come back to, for a lot of us, those of us that are, we are not solely employed to do marketing. I know some of you guys, Josh is doing a bit of marketing, Aaron is predominantly marketing, Sophie's marketing, I'm assuming Sean, Jeff, some of the others, we're not employed solely to do marketing. We've got multiple hats. Marketing is just one of the hats that we have to wear. So if I come back to why people don't do more marketing, there's generally 3 reasons why we don't do it. Number 1 is I don't have the time. Okay, I just, I do it when I can do it, but I'm not doing it consistently. I don't make the time consistently. I don't have the money. Okay, now I've just dispelled that. If you can find the machine, you'll find the money. Okay, but you've got to create the machine first before you're able to invest in that. Or you don't have the skill. Okay, now time generally is the easy one to fix. You just got to make time. You've got to put time in the diary and protect it and make sure it happens on a consistent basis. The money, as I said, that will come once you know the machine, and the skill is you've got to continually learn marketing. It's a never ending. It's always changing. It's always evolving. The guy that had the Facebook company, that lasted 18 months. And then Facebook changed the algorithm and his whole business disappeared. Okay. This is why, coming to, I want to do Facebook marketing. Well, why? It has its strengths, it has its positives, but all marketing has, in my mind, a shelf life. We used to do, my number 1 marketing strategy for me was telemarketing when I started 14 years ago. Okay, but monitoring the return on investment on that over the years, it gradually got more expensive and less effective. So I stopped it probably 5-6 years ago. I've just started it again.
Okay, now I'm in test and measure phase at the moment because I don't know, I've got to measure it. But my feeling now is I think the market has changed and I can get that return on investment to a level where it's worth spending on it. I don't know, so I'm going in cautiously and testing it, but really that's what we do, is we test, we measure, then as we start to see it working, we can invest more money in it. If it's not working, we have to adapt it or change and go somewhere else. Okay, so marketing for me is maths. There's a balance of science, which is the maths side of it, and then there's the actual creativity of making something look good, and attractive so people want to do it. I can't do that bit. I'm rubbish at the creative bit. I can do the maths bit, so I have to get other people to do the creative side for me. Okay, if you're a creative person, then you've got to make sure somebody's going to do the maths side for you. If you're rubbish at both of it, then make sure you get somebody good at both things for you. But the one thing you can't let go of is the numbers. So the other belief that you've got to change is you are not your customer. Okay, you are not your customer. Your customer does not think and act like you. Okay, you're dealing with a completely different set of people. Okay, Aaron, certainly for you. I know some of you guys. Sophie's probably the closest that comes to actually being one of our customers. Chris, a little bit. But your customers are so varied that it's all different. But the first thing is, you're not your customer. Okay, and we all start building our marketing plans for what will attract us, what we like, what we want to see. Okay, you've got to get this ability to differentiate yourself from your customer. And actually understand you don't have one customer, you have multiple customers. Each with their own demographic, each their own psychology. And the closer you are to actually understanding that, the easier marketing becomes, as I'm going to show you later. So Sean, for you, when you were saying, you're changing to the younger generation, 100%, because your customer is not the person that goes into a home. It's generally their family. Their family makes that decision, either for them or with them, that now's the time that you need to go into a home. Okay, so we've got to start thinking about, right, who is it that we're selling to or we're trying to sell to, and we've got to understand how they think, not how we think. Okay, so that's the other belief is, people are just like me and they want to buy my product because it's me. No, they're thinking in a completely different way. Okay, and we'll go into more about that, how we do that. So the way we do this is and this should have come up on one by one, but there's 3 reasons why people buy things. Okay, 3 reasons why they take action, 3 reasons why why any of us do anything. The first is it's a need-based decision. If I stay as I am, I'm going to be in pain, therefore doing something is better than doing nothing. Okay, so we move away from pain. So it's a need purchase. Okay, so if I'm hungry, then there's a need for me to fill that hunger with some food. Okay, so a lot of food purchases are need-based. So McDonald's built its entire operation based on need-based decisions. Okay, that's really where McDonald's is. A 5-star restaurant, say the Fat Duck in wherever it is. The Fat Duck. Oh, Blue Heston in Bray. Excellent, thank you. I knew there's always somebody there. So the Fat Duck in Bray, is not a need-based restaurant. You don't suddenly have a need to spend, 250 quid on a meal. It's not a need base, it's a want base. Okay, people want to go there, so they're willing to wait. If you want to go and eat the Fat Duck, you've got to make a reservation 3 months before you want to go there. You don't suddenly wake up in the morning and say, I'm a bit peckish, let's book into the Fat Duck. So their whole marketing is around people who are in that want base. So you go there, pretty much everybody eating there is either extremely wealthy, or it's an anniversary, or it's a wedding, or it's a special occasion.
So all of their marketing is based around those people looking for those special things. They're one-offs. You know, you don't go to the Fat Duck every single week. You know, you just wouldn't be able to get out the door after a few weeks. You know, but B, you know, you'd have to be seriously wealthy to do that. So the final one is purpose. Okay, it's for other people. So we do things not for us, for our own self-gratification, we do it for other people. Now, if you're at that level, you know, and Sean, I think you're possibly a little bit at that level, okay, because, you know, people put their parents into homes because of, you know, they think they're doing it for them. They're not doing that. They're not personally benefiting. So it's another thing. Anything with children. So if you're selling to children, okay, this is a purpose-driven. So private schools, that sort of thing, is a purpose-driven thing because it's the parents wanting something better for their kids. Okay, so we've got to understand, you know, what is it that's driving our buyers to buy from us? What's the psychology? Where are they thinking? What space are they? Need-based purchases, to me, are the easiest. Okay, because if you're selling something people need, then it's great. Just be at that market to them at that point in time when their need is the greatest. Wants is more difficult because you've got to actually pull them in. You've got to actually get them excited about your product. And purpose is the hardest because, you know, it's a much bigger factor. Okay, so for me, you know, when I'm marketing coaching, you know, I'm very much, you know, towards this. It's down here. You know, I don't tend to get involved with need-based. You know, no one needs a coach. You know, they don't need it. What they either want it or they've got some sight on something bigger down the line. So that's why my marketing is quite difficult because I'm dealing with these people down here. For Chris, who's second-hand cars, you know, you generally sort of, you know, come to a point where you need to buy a car because your one's broken. Those are probably your easiest sales. Yeah. If you've got somebody that's aspirational, looking for things, then they're a pain in the arse because they want to go and kick, you know, 100 tires. They want to go test drives.
We need another category for Tesla owners.
And Tesla owners are even worse. Yeah. So
especially white Tesla, not white people, just white Teslas.
White Tesla owners. Yeah. Black Tesla owners matter as well. So in order to once we understand where they are, then we come back to what I call the formula for change. So again, write this one down, guys. D times V plus F must be greater than R. Okay? D times V plus F is greater than R. So D is our dissatisfaction with where I am now. V is the vision of where I want to be in the future, or where I could be in the future. F is the first step. So what action do I have to take now? What are the steps to get there? And R is my resistance to change. So if I've got a heavy need base, yeah, my resistance is low because I need to move. If I'm at the top level, my resistance generally is high because I haven't made that decision yet. And everyone has this fear of buying something they don't want or making mistakes. None of us like failure or making mistakes. So we've got to understand for each of our, you know, where they are and also their level of resistance to buying at that particular time. Now, low level of resistance, we can the marketing, the lead to sale is going to be quite quick. For people further down the line at purpose, it's going to be quite a slow and quite a long process. So we've got to understand, you know, where they are in that because that drives our marketing as well. You know, if I'm doing need-based, it can be a quick advert, it can be a quick buy now, discount, great, because that will get them over the line. Yeah, if they're down the line, give them a discount isn't going to make any difference at all. Don't waste your money on those people that are ready to buy. You know, don't discount. So there's no point. Okay, we've got to work on how we get them through the line. Okay, so we've got to understand where they are, that there will be a resistance, and if their resistance is high, just showing them what to do isn't going to help. We've got to work on that, either get them more dissatisfied or create more vision. So if you look, one of the best places to really understand marketing is the Daily Mail. Anybody get the Daily Mail? Is anybody going to even sort of admit to getting the Daily Mail?
from now on, buy the Daily Mail, okay? Or at least buy it once a week, get the Sunday Mail, because the advertising in there is generally brilliant. Okay, it's really good because it costs £15,000 to place one advert in one copy of the Daily Mail. If you don't sell shitloads of product to make £15,000 up, you do not advertise in the Daily Mail for very long. Okay, now give to me the typical demographic of a Daily Mail reader. Aaron's looking at me going, "What the fuck's the Daily Mail?" When I don't even know what it is.
No, I know what it is.
It's what your gran reads, Aaron.
I don't think she does much reading anymore. Well, newspapers. I mean, Daily Mail's got a massive following online as well. I mean,
yep.
You know, it tends to be people with what you might say is strong reactionary right-wing views, especially around immigration benefits and other things like that.
Yep. Definitely.
But you know, I don't want to tar anyone with a brush.
No, it's. I would say it's erring on the right wing of the papers. You know, so that's fine, and it's targeted. They know their demographic, and that's what they write stories to appeal to those people. You know, that's how they do. Each paper has its own demographic that it writes to. But it's predominantly 50 plus. Okay, that's where it's always had its main target market. 50 plus readers. Yeah, my gran read it till she died. You know, she was at 98 at the time. That was her sort of daily trip down to the news agents, buy the Daily Mail, come back and spend the day reading it. I never did question it why she did that, but that was it. But the advertising, when you read it, when you go through the Daily Mail, you'll see that it's very, very targeted to that demographic. Okay, I won't spoil it, but grab a copy, look through it. Don't read what they write, because what they write is a load of rubbish. Just get it for the advertising. Okay, so that's a really good place to look. So that's the B. Okay, so we've got to have clear goals where we're going to go. Our B, we've got to have the right beliefs. We've got to believe that marketing is an investment. We've got to believe our customers have a different psychological profile to us. Yeah, and we've got to believe that we can overcome that resistance through our marketing. Yeah, if we do all of that, then we can start putting our plan together. But right now, how do we actually get that message across? How do we actually get across to people? So there are three important things with marketing, and I've read pretty much. I'd like to think every marketing book. I definitely haven't read every marketing book, but I've read a lot of marketing books. I've done a lot of study around this, and every book basically says exactly this in a slightly different way. Even the one I'm going to recommend at the end has 4 things. I think it's 4 or 5 things, but in essence, it's just 3 things, just expanded slightly. Okay, so it pretty much to me says this is what it's all about. Okay, these are the 3 things that every marketing plan must look at. The first one is, who are we marketing to? Okay, we must be so clear in our mind who our target market is, right the way down to some really good marketing agencies will give them a name. We actually are marketing to Lucy. Okay, and they can actually
create an avatar.
An avatar. Yeah, they actually say, right, Lucy, this is what Lucy looks like, this is what Lucy does, this is what she eats, this is where she goes to work, this is what she wears, this is what she drives, and they create this avatar around this perfect person. Okay, if you can get your marketing to that level, yeah, everything else is a piece of cake. Absolute piece of cake. Okay, when you struggle to know what to say and what to do, it's because you're not clear what that target is, or you've got multiple targets. Okay, I find it very difficult because I'm not marketing to a particular person. My client base is so vast. I mean, just look at you on this call. You know, that actually a particular type of person is very, very difficult. The way the person thinks is very similar. Okay, so I work with people who are goal-minded. They want to achieve stuff. Okay, they want to be better than they are today, and they are learners. They love learning. They love doing this side of things. Okay, so that's what I've got. It's not a type of person. Yeah, it's a way a person thinks. So that's where my marketing comes, is to actually target those types of people. Okay, so you've got to start thinking, right, what is your target? Who do you need to go for? Yeah, as clearly as possible. Okay. The second point is the offer. Okay, so once I know Lucy, let's use this Lucy sort of way of doing it. So I know Lucy, and I'm getting to understand how Lucy thinks, what she does. Yeah. Now I've got to put an offer that will compel Lucy to take action. Okay, to actually do something, to actually engage with me, to actually move you to that next step in the process. Okay, and that's all marketing is to do, is to engage and move them to the next step in the process. Now, it might be 10 steps in that process to get her to buy. If she's down at that want and purpose level, okay, if she's at need level, it'll be 1 or 2 steps. Okay, so that's why we've got to understand where Lucy generally is in that buying process. Okay, so once I've got that compelling offer, then I can actually write the copy. Now, this comes from traditional marketing, where it was all print, copywriting, actually the words that we use. In today's multimedia marketing, this is the medium that we actually use to get the message across. And it might be, it might be video, it might be an email, it might be written, it might be voice. There's so many aspects now of how we can actually get the message across. That's why we get stuck. Okay, so we always go in this order. Now, if we were to score these out of 10 for levels of importance, targeting is 10 out of 10. Okay, you do not do any marketing unless you are clear who the target market is. The next most important, which I give 5 out of 10, is the offer. Okay, a compelling offer, something that person or that demographic is going to want to buy. The least important is the copy. Okay, is the actual medium and the words. Now, this is why a lot of people approach marketing wrong, is because they start with, I want to do some Facebook marketing. Yeah, right. So what am I going to say? Oh, don't know. Let me create an offer. Fantastic. Right. Who's this going to? Oh, everybody. So they start at the bottom and then they work up. What I'm saying to you guys is you have to start from the top and work down. Because if you do that, you then start to understand, by the time you've done the first 2, you'll know exactly which medium you should use. Should I use Facebook? Should I use LinkedIn? Should I use Instagram? Should I do a direct mail piece? Should I put an advert in the newspaper? Yeah, I can't answer those questions until you've done the first 2. Who am I going for and what's the offer? Okay, once you've done that, then you can decide how you get the message across. So how do we identify our target market? Now, to me, the best place to do this is start with the clients you've got. Okay, look at your client base as it is right now and say, right, who are my A-grade clients? They're my awesome clients, the clients that buy everything I can sell. Never quibble on price, always pay on time. Yeah, are a joy to work with. When they come into the showroom, when they come into the office, when they get on the phone, you smile. Yeah, not the ones you go, oh my God, it's him again. Oh God, I wish he'd go away. That's always quibbling about price and never values what you do. Okay, so start looking at the client base that you've already got to decide who you want to go for. If you haven't started your business yet, if it's brand new, then that's brilliant, because now you can define who you want. Okay, so really start thinking clearly about who is it you're actually after. Once you've got that, then you can break it down as to why they are like that. What is it about them that makes them A grade? Okay, so let's just use Aaron. Can you unmute yourself a sec? We'll use you as a little example on this.
Okay.
So have you got in mind who an A grade client for you is. So for everyone else, Aaron's driving the marketing for Yao Brothers, which is it's a retail but wholesale Oriental food. So they supply takeaways and restaurants.
Okay, so as in, who are the clients?
So who would be an A grade client for you?
Well, someone who is spending a lot of money. Well, no. So A grade for us would be, they are normally like a repeat customer.
Yep.
So most of the so our repeat customers normally, so initially they'll buy like £30 worth of stuff. Then when they're repeat, they're normally ordering somewhere in the £80 mark.
Yeah. So have you got a customer right now that is doing these things?
Yeah.
You do. Okay. Can you give us just the first name, or or make the name up if you don't?
Yeah. So I've got a customer called Jeff. He's it's actually his wife, but he has some sort of input in the ordering as well. So they normally order a fair amount of sauces, pastes, bags of rice, that sort of thing.
Right.
Buying in bulk. Normally it lasts them a month, I guess, because another order will come in like a month later, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're A grade because they keep coming back, and each time they come back, they spend more money. In terms of their problem, I'm not entirely sure of what their problem is, actually. That's something to think about.
Okay.
And where to find more of them? Facebook, unfortunately. I despise Facebook, but most of our audience seem to connect with us on Facebook, and then they'll go onto the website. However, our direct to website conversion rates from Facebook are rather low, but it's the initial messaging they'll do. Hi, do you deliver? Do you do this food or that food? Then you give them a link to the website, then they go on. That's normally how you're sort of finding them.
Yeah, cool. I think that that to me, I know all your business is slightly different, but if you think in that mindset and you say, right, this guy that we know, that he's buying the right sort of level. Why are they great? Because they buy a lot. They don't quibble on price. Their problem. If you start to think about their problem, you'll probably come up with a reason why.
Probably.
If you really don't know, then ask them. Do a survey. Just pick up the phone. It's great, fantastic. Love having you as our customer. But we're just doing a bit of marketing now and a bit of market research. Could you just answer a few questions for us? Don't be afraid to ask your customers. If you can't work it out, ask them why they buy from you. What is it that they saw in that Facebook ad? What is it that they like about the service? Certainly, I think what COVID-19's done is it's changed people's habits. And they're starting to question, were the habits that I've got into, were they actually good habits? Did I like going to the bloody supermarket every single week and drawing around the supermarket? Well, no, I can buy most of my stuff online now. Have it delivered, have the slot I need. So this is why this is a great time, I think, now to market, not the way you did market 6 months ago, but for a new mindset, a new way of thinking. And if we're not sure, then ask. Really do that customer service. If you want to do you can do mail shots, emails, Survey Monkey's a nice simple way of doing it. But the quickest and easiest way is pick up the phone. Speak to people. They'll tell you. Really, really, really important. Okay. So identify who they are. Categorize them. You say you'll probably have more than one category. So that's fine. You can try. Don't have 1,000 categories, okay? Because that'll just do your head in when you're marketing. Break it down. If you can do 2 or 3 basic types of people, okay? Basic categories types. Then you can work out the offers for each 3. Don't have one offer to do them all. You can have offers for each of them. And then what you've got to understand is the old way of marketing. If you go back, even the sort of the Daily Mail marketing, which I'm saying is great for get it now because it won't be there in a few years' time. Because in the old days you had a captive audience. You knew where they were. They didn't have much choice. They were uneducated. They had a lot of time, and there wasn't much noise going around them. Okay, so if you go back to, I say it makes me feel old, but in my day, we had 4. It was amazing. We had the 4th TV channel. Then we had 5. Now we've got millions. So there wasn't that many. There was only a few national radio stations. There were only a few newspapers. It was very difficult to find the information. So we were sort of easy targets. This is why big budget marketing worked, because you knew the slots. You could get through to people by newsprint or TV or radio, and that was it. And that's where your audience were. They were sitting on those. Now your audience is all over the place. So Chris was just saying, I've just got a Tesla, and it's got these podcast things in it. It's like bloody thousands of podcasts now. It's like, I struggled to know which radio station to have. Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio 3, Radio 4. Now I've got bloody hundreds of podcasts. So how the hell am I going to find the people that I want to market to? Well, actually, it's easier because people are now going on radio station, YouTube channels, Facebook groups for their interests. So there's smaller groups. They're harder to find, the smaller groups, but they are very, very focused, very, very targeted. Okay, so we've got to start understanding how we use this. So the new way is the audience are transient. They've got loads of choice. They probably are more educated about what they're buying from you than you are. So they've done their research. It doesn't take any time to do research now. If you've ever been into sort of Currys and bought something in Currys, you will know more about the TV you're going to buy than the guy trying to sell it to you. And if you expect it the other way, you'll be extremely disappointed, as I have been on many occasions. So even when I picked up the new car, they said, well, they send you the videos before you pick it up and say, well, you should know more about it. We'll leave you to it. Off you go. Okay. So because of this, once we've targeted that market, we then have to stand out. If we don't stand out, we don't sell. Okay, so it's really important for us to stand out from all that noise, everything that's going on, because it is a crowded market. So the way we do that, which is the offer, is we've got to have clarity around what our unique selling proposition is, and or have a guarantee. There's the only 2 ways that you can really niche yourself in a market. Have something that's unique about you, or if you're a service-based business, have a guarantee. Okay, product-based businesses, can have USPs. So Sophie, you guys have got a USP because your product is unique. For Chris, he's a service-based business, selling cars. It's a service. The cars aren't unique because you can buy a red Fiesta anywhere. The way that you sell it for service, has to be, can have a guarantee of service levels. So we've got to be thinking USP and guarantee, but also in today's world, it's becoming much more about the story. Okay, people will do their research. They want to find out about who they're buying from. Because they're so educated about it, they're not just willing to just buy from anybody. If it's need-based, I'll buy from anybody. If I'm thirsty and I need water, I don't care who I'm going to buy it from. I really don't care. Okay, but if it's a want and a purpose-driven one, I'm going to be far more interested in who I'm actually buying from. So that story behind it. So a great book on this was Donald Miller's, Story Brand. This is where he came up with the concept of you are not your customer. The customer is the hero in your story, not you. Okay, so got to be very, very clear with that. So what is our story that we want to get across to people? And they are interested. Okay, they will be interested in that story. It's not just about buying a product to solve a problem. They want to know why. And that element behind it is critically important. So this offer needs to come from who you are, what your story is, what your uniqueness is, and what your guarantee is. It's an amalgamation of all of these things together that make you completely unique. So why do we need it? Well, if we go back to that formula for change I talked about before, it reduces that resistance and risk. Okay, if you've got a USP and a guarantee, it reduces somebody's risk to actually buying from you. So, and again, we're talking here about buying for the first time, guys. So, we've got to get this difference between existing business and new business. We're talking marketing for brand new clients here, people who've never bought from you before. There's always a risk. Now, one of the biggest risks for most of us is they're already buying from somebody else. Okay, for most of us, this isn't a first-time purchase. They're already buying from somebody else on a repeat business, or with Chris's, they've got other people they could buy from. Okay, so this actually produces this, or lowers this resistance to actually allow us then to sell to them. Okay, so we've really got to be thinking, we've got to have this because it lowers the risk, and then our offer can build on that dissatisfaction and that vision. Okay, so it's this balance between these three things. The first steps is do this, click on the website, go here. That's the easy bit. Okay, the difficult bit is understanding the resistance, lowering that resistance, increasing the dissatisfaction, and increasing the vision to actually help people move forwards. So we've got to understand what our USP is. What is our unique selling proposition? And it's not easy, guys. If you haven't done this work, this can take you 3 months to actually come up with it in the first place. Sometimes you just get it like that. Sometimes you have to work at it. But it can't be something that's vague and unspecific. So get the false teeth in. Okay? So things like we care. That's not a USP. Because that's suggesting, well, we care and everybody else doesn't care. Well, everybody else does care. Yeah? We're the best. Again, that's not a USP. You're not stating something clearly. Locally owned and operated, it's not really, we can use that. I'm using that in a marketing campaign with a butcher's, an online butcher's. Okay, because we're going nationally and we're saying we only buy meat from the 3 counties, from the southern counties. So we're actually regionalising ourselves because that does make us unique. But if you're selling to the local area, saying you're locally owned and operated, again, isn't specific, isn't unique enough. And friendly service, these things, a bit like the goals, they're just fluffy. They don't mean anything. So they're not, you can't have these as your USPs. So you get 20 areas to choose from. Okay, now if you do want, I do have, said about handouts, if you do want some help with your USP categories, if you just email me, don't message, because once this closes it goes, just email me. I've got this as a document I can send you. A little help sheet to help you calculate your USP. Okay, so I can send that to you. So we can have a USP on price. Okay, so give me an example of a company that does this really well. Aldi. Okay, Aldi Lidl have done this really, really well. Now, 5 years ago, it wasn't great, was it? It was, they had the same proposition, but the market wasn't ready, because we were doing okay. We were affluent. In pre-2008, everyone was great and everybody wanted to shop at Marks and Spencer's. We don't shop at Aldi and buy these funny German brands at half the price. Yeah, look how the market has changed. Those businesses now, because they stuck with their USP, they didn't change it. They stuck with it. They consistently got the message out, about price, and actually the brand doesn't matter. What they did do is they pushed quality as well. They said, look, it's the same quality, it's just lower price, because that was important for them. Yeah, and now they are the fastest growing supermarkets in the country. Just email me, Jeff. Yeah, just ping me an email and I'll get that to you.
So we can have it on price, but if you're going to do it on price, you've got to do it really well. Okay, you have to be the best. You have to be so competitive that nobody can come close. Because the problem with this one is if you go cheap and the competitor goes cheap, or the only place you can go is cheaper, and it's a race to the bottom. Okay, and it is last man standing or last woman standing, last business standing. So you've got to have some real strength in your buying power, to be able to play that game. I would not recommend going down that. I did it for probably 8 years, supplying supermarkets, and in the end, that business went out of business because you just can't. There's always somebody bigger and better that can do it cheaper. And if it's not you, then get out of the game. You can do it on service. Our service levels. You can do it on convenience, choice. You can talk about the guarantees. You can be the most innovative. It can be a technology-based one, speed, quality. It can be exclusivity, tradition. I mean, there's 20 of these things here. Okay. So the key, if you're not sure what it is, again, one key way is ask the customers, why is it you buy from us? They generally will tell you what it will be. But you may find, I'm not saying this is an exhaustive list, there's probably other things, but these are good places to start. So Jeff, you're saying about, well, what could yours be? It's difficult. It's a garage. How are you different to other garages? But don't forget, you do not do this until you've done the target. There's no point in saying where it is unless you really know who your demographic is and who your target market is. Then you can start putting your USP together. Otherwise, you'll come up with something that it sounds great, it's good for you, you feel good, and you'll put it out to your market, and they go, I don't give a shit about that. That's irrelevant to me. Okay, so target first, offer USP to me second. Okay, so some of you, if you've got a product, it's easier because I've created this fantastic product. Now I can push this product into the marketplace. If you're service-based, it is more difficult. Okay, but that's why the guarantee thing really is probably your number one trump card, which I'll show you in a second. This one here, the guarantee, if it's service-based, the guarantee is generally easier than a USP. Okay, and the way I sort of say for this one is, what are 7 things that you do, really, really well that is a benefit to me as a customer, better than anybody else? And those 7 things together become your USP, because somebody might be able to compete with you on one, but they won't be able to compete you on 7 things. Okay, and that becomes your sort of your service level agreement. Your standards are so high, no one can compete you on those standards. Okay, so that's if you're service based, I would say go guarantee. If you're product based, go USP. Okay, but again, think about your target first before you go into the detail of this. So a little test for us. I'm not sure I'm going to do this because I have to look at this screen here, and you can raise your hand. So I want you to raise your hand if you think it is a USP. Okay, if you think this is unique and it's something we can get our marketing around. Okay, so raise your hands if it is. I'll assume if you don't raise your hands, you don't think it is. So friendly staff, nice easy one to start. Anybody think that's a USP? No, good. That's not a USP. Shop is clean and tidy. Can you take us for that one? Well, it could be a bit of a safety one at the moment, but certainly for restaurants, 24-hour money back guarantee. Yeah, got a few nods. Well, I did say raise hands because I can't really see nods. So hands up for that one. Yeah, that's a good one. Stock in a range of sizes. Not really, is it? You're not really selling anything. If you were niche into a particular size of person, and your sizes were specific for that size, then yes, that could be a niche. We only stock for sizes under 10 or sizes over 20, something like that. That could then be your niche. Unique 8-step fitting program to ensure that our staff fit you correctly.
Why are you trying on staff?
We're talking trolls here. Yeah, good. That's a good one. All our staff attended intensive 2-day colour coordinated training program. Yeah. Okay. Well established. No, don't like that one. I mean, there is a time where you can say we've been in business for a number of years, okay? But people don't really care. Just because you've been hanging around like a bad smell for 50 years, it doesn't make you a good business. Okay? If it does, if it's about the experience you've got, because we've been in 50 years, we've got 250 years of experience, of knowledge, that means that we can solve your problem quicker than anybody else. Yes, I can get around that. But it's got to mean something to me as the consumer, not to you as the owner. We care. Well, we've done that one. It's no good. We have a pick up and delivery automation service to and from your home. Yeah, definitely on this one, isn't it? And 28 different brands of coffee and tea, just so your friends can enjoy your time. Yeah, if that's saying that we've got more than anybody else. I think there's a bar in London, isn't there, that's got more. It's got the most number of gin brands in that bar. Okay, I think it's like about 5,000 different gins. That makes it unique. There is no other bar. Now, if you don't like gin, are you going to go to that bar?
Identify their target audience.
So they want people who just love trying different gins. So, and you can imagine when you go in there and you order a gin and tonic, it won't come in one of those, and you won't pay £3.50 for it. Okay, so they know their target market. Their message is, more gins than anybody else. Yeah, and I bet everybody goes in and just orders Tanqueray anyway. So if your competitors can say it, then it's not unique. That's a nice, easy one. If only you can say it, then you can be unique. So we've got our target. We now know our offer. We've got our USP, our guarantee. We've got a way to actually get people to be enticed with us. Now we can look at the target market. Okay, so now we can look at the copy, how we get the message across. Now, I've got a list of 2, 4, 6, there's 12 on there. We've identified 73 strategies. I've got a sheet of 73 strategies. So if we ever get stuck of how we get the message across, we just go to that. One of them is a hot air blimp. I'm always waiting for that client that wants to do the hot air blimp, because I've in 14 years of being a coach, no one's ever taken me up on the way to communicate. I came close once, but we're not. It's not easy in round Eastleigh because we're on a flight path and they don't tend to like those things flying. So once we know our target and offer, then we can decide which one of these strategies or multiple strategies we're going to focus on. Okay, then we decide how we get to them. Once we know who it is, how we're going to get that message to them. Okay, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, strategic alliances, whichever one. But then we have to learn how to do it on that platform, because each one is unique. Each one has its own strengths. Each one has its own weaknesses. And I'm not, I don't study this enough to know the intricacies of how to best do Facebook marketing. And probably for most of you, you're not those people either. But will there be people out there? Will there be a YouTube video on it? 100%. You can either learn this yourself, or you've got to invest in somebody to do this for you. But do not do that until you've done everything else we've talked about. Otherwise, you're just going to waste your money. If you don't go to your marketing person with clear directions, right, I want 200 leads in the next quarter. The cost per lead I'm willing to pay is £10. This is your marketing budget. This is the target audience you're going to go to. This is the offer. Now market that for me. Yeah. Otherwise, all they'll do is they'll spend your money. Yeah. I've spent thousands on marketing people that have been quite happy to spend my money. And then at the end of the quarter, I said, so where's my leads then? Oh, well, you know, but I've got your brand out to 4,000 people. Yeah, but no one's bought. No one's taken any action. Oh, yeah, but, you know, it's the market. No, it's not. It's because you're not clear what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. Okay, so you've got to push. You know, I've been to some really expensive marketing agencies, and they still don't get this. You know, and I'm really working with clients to actually get the marketing company to come up to speed with their measurement systems and the way they actually do this. Because for them, you know, you're their client, and they just want to spend your money for you on brand. You know, I've got your brand out there. Yeah, it's great. To who? Not the right people, and nobody's actually bought. So when we know our target, then we can work for our copy. And anytime we do our copywriting, okay, so we in effect produce an advert or produce any form of marketing content. So this might be an email, it might be a Twitter, you know, whatever it is that is destined to be marketing, i.e. lead generation, then we must follow the AIDA principle. Excuse me. Okay, so again, make sure you write this one down. So this comes from a guy called John Caples. He's recognised as the grandfather of advertising. He wrote a book called The Tested Advertising Methods. So he was in marketing from the early 1900s, 1920, 1930, right the way through into the 1960s, 1970s. One of his students was a guy called J. Conrad Levinson, who's now passed away. He's the grandfather of guerrilla marketing, on which a lot of these concepts are based. He's the guy that developed the Marlboro Man. You know, Marlboro cigarettes and the cowboy.
What's a cigarette?
What's a cigarette? Excellent answer. So, and for those of you, does everybody know the Marlboro Man? You've never seen a Marlboro advert?
Too young.
Possibly too young. It was, I mean, Marlboro were the biggest selling cigarette brand in the world, and he was brought in, or they weren't at the time. They were very low down. He was brought in to revamp their marketing, to actually, you know, to take them up and sell more cigarettes. Which in the old days you were allowed to do that.
Like the Milky Bar.
Like the Milky Bar did. So he basically looked and said, right, who do we want? Who smokes the most cigarettes in America? Okay, and he looked at the demographic and said, who's our ideal client? And they said, it's that redneck, it's that guy that sees smoking as a macho thing. Okay, that's who we want. You know, people that smoke because it's an image thing. That's who we want to market to. He said, right, okay, we now know that. And I think they probably called him a name, you know, Brad, something like that. So we want to market to Brad. So what's Brad interested in? He says it's about the image. It's about, you know, it's the rugged, it's the outdoors, it's the sort of living life. And they basically created this cowboy, you know, that had a cigarette in his mouth. And the whole marketing campaign, the offer, you know, was all about that. And they turned a very low-level cigarette brand into a multi-billion pound brand. Now, okay, we look back now and think that was crazy, teaching, you know, getting more people to smoke, etc. Yeah, so, but it shows the power of it, because it was actually making you do something that's going to kill you, but actually made you look good on the way. That's real marketing. Yeah, here's something that's going to kill you, and you're going to buy loads of it and spend lots of money on it. So that's that power. And when it comes to the marketing, you know, once that image, then we come back to this AIDA principle. So when we put our marketing together, the first thing we've got to do is we've got to grab people's attention. So whatever it is, and it's generally done through a headline. So if you send an email, it's the subject line and maybe the first line of the content. If it's a Facebook page, you know, it's that I'm scrolling through, what grabs me. Instagram is the same. You've got literally less than 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention, because there's so much noise there. If you can't do that, then you've lost the sale. Okay, so this is always been important, because you imagine in the old days you were reading a newspaper, you flick it through the newspaper, something had to grab you and stick in your mind. Yeah, it's even quicker now with mobile phone technology. Yeah, therefore you've got to do so. You've got to be thinking, probably grab somebody's attention in 0.3 of a second. Okay, that's where you've got to be thinking. Is this advert going to grab somebody's attention in 3 seconds? If they're sitting there going, what is this? Well, I don't understand it. They're just going to go, boom, boom. Okay, this is why kittens playing pianos, yeah, get loads of Facebook looks. Because it's easy to understand. Oh, there's a cute kitten. Oh, it's doing something it shouldn't be doing. Yeah, it's very, very simple for the because you're trying to work to the subconscious here, because the subconscious goes at that speed, not the conscious mind. It's all subconscious stuff that we're aiming for. So once we've got that attention, yeah, then we can pull them in with this interest and desire. Now, the interest and desire is going to be based on 2 things that I've mentioned before. What are those 2 things that are going to be of interest? Think back to the formula for change.
If they're in pain.
If they're in pain, their dissatisfaction, or their
Seeking vision.
Their vision, their wants and desires. So it's either going to be a need, pain, or a want and desire. So whatever it is, our interest and desire has got to be built around that. Okay, so it's poking whatever's necessary to poke. Okay, so if it's a pain, poke the pain button. If it's a want and desire, this is what you're going to be like, poke the want and desire button. Again, we're talking at a subconscious level here. It's not rational thinking. Therefore, your languaging needs to be languaging to a subconscious level, not a theoretical level. That's why you look at some of the best adverts and the punctuation and the spelling is actually not great, because it's not designed to be great. It's designed to hit you between the ears. The ears? Is there? Yeah, it's there. Yeah. Absolutely. Hit you between the eyes. Once you've got that interest and desire, then you have a call to action. Then you've led them in. Now you've got to get them to do something. So what am I actually going to do as a result of this? So a call to action button, CTAs they're called. Get them to do something. If you get them to do, if there's too many steps in that following process, you do this, do this, do this, that interest and desire that you've built up in those 3 seconds will start to wane and you'll lose them. And this is why most, if you go to websites when you're going through and you get to the checkout, this is why you get really high abandon rates in checkout, because you've created the desire, they've got to the point, they've put it in their basket, and it's a bit like going to a supermarket. You put all your stuff in the basket, you get to the queue, and the queue's 4 miles long, and you go, oh fuck it, and you leave the thing and you go off. I didn't really want the things anyway. Now, if you can get it so they can come in and automatically just walk out the door with the basket, you look at supermarkets, the click and scan side of things, using the apps, they've already cottoned on to this factor that make it easy for people to take the next action, to do what they came in to do. If you make it complicated for them, or you make it unattractive for them, you'll lose them. Okay, so this, let's say, guys, look, this is today is to give you the overview. Okay, I don't have enough. Each of your cases are going to be unique. This is simple. Really, this is as complicated as it gets. Target, offer, copy, attention, interest, desire, action. That is marketing in those 2 statements. Yeah, it ain't easy. Okay, creating your marketing plan around this is where it takes the skill and time to actually do this well. Okay, and you'll learn, the more you do it, the more you'll learn how to do this better. Okay, so don't worry if you're sitting there going, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. That's a good place to be, because you're going to have to learn how to do this. The danger is you do marketing without knowing this, and then you just do rubbish marketing. Yeah, and you just waste money. And the worst case is when you do rubbish marketing and somebody then picks up the phone and phones you because you think that marketing's worked. It hasn't. Yeah, and then you keep spending money at it,
and then you'll waste money long term anyway. So here's a little example. Now, this is a Daily Mail advert. Okay, the reason I've been using this now for 14 years. Okay, and the reason I keep using it is because I haven't found a better advert. It is a brilliant advert for what I want to explain to you. Okay, and it is an award-winning advert. It did win the advertising marketing award in, I don't know when it was, 2002, something like that. And actually, bizarrely, it was one of my colleagues, Action Coach colleagues, that actually was on the team that made it. So I'd actually found this as a good example, and I used it in a presentation, and he was in the audience learning, and he said, "That's my advert." And it was really bizarre because he could then tell me how much time and effort they put into actually creating that advert.
Swiss advert, is it?
Pardon?
Swiss advert.
Swiss.
Euthanasia.
I'm just glad I don't have many clients like you, because I couldn't get into your mind, Chris. So this is an advert, obviously, for Temper beds. Hopefully you know what Temper bed, the memory foam bed. It was unique at the time. It was the only bed that there was. These beds are and were very expensive. Okay, compared to a traditional bed, I think they were almost twice the price of a traditional bed. Okay, so this is not a price-driven decision to buy. It's not a need bed. I do not need a Temper bed. If I need a cheap mattress, I'll just go and buy a cheap bed. This is not a need-based purchase. This is a want purpose-driven advert. Okay, so it's right at the top level. Okay, so if we come into this and go through that AIDA principle, you know, we look at this and say, right, what grabs the attention?
The headline in the picture.
The headline in the picture. Okay, it's always the headline in the picture. Yeah, the headline, nice and simple, in quotes, bold. How much of the page is the headline taking? A good, nearly 20%, isn't it? Okay, so 20% of your copy, about 25%, yeah, about 25%, you know, must be the headline. Yeah, I see too many adverts with tiny little headlines, you know, and just, you know, you're not making the impact. You've got 0.3 of a second. I'm flicking through. If that doesn't hit me, and if I don't understand straight away, then I move on. Okay, and the picture backs that up. Oh, there's a picture there. Now, if we come back to target market, okay, and this is what I like about this. This is very, very clever. Who are they targeting? People with back pain. Yeah, that's a potential.
And slightly older people who are potentially more likely to be feeling.
Excellent. So slightly older people. So people who are more likely to have back pain. Yeah. It's more subtle than that. These are good things. These are all relevant, but it's more.
People who spend a lot of time in bed.
People that spend a lot of time in bed. Yeah, but I don't think the advert sort of is picking that up. You know, I wouldn't know that they're spending a lot of time in bed. Anything from you guys, the online crowd? So yeah, we're looking target. Who are we targeting here? So we're looking probably sort of 50 plus. Okay, 50 plus. So there was a comment there. Title, yeah, female mums. Okay. Business women, successful people. Yeah, I think you certainly getting that potentially from the image of the lady that's on the bed. You know, you're starting to associate with that person. British. This was done nearly 20 years ago, so I'm sure it could be more socially diverse nowadays. Aspiring, yeah, okay. I mean, look, these are great things that you're getting. You know, if you're getting that from this advert, I think you're picking up on the cues there, saying, because this is an expensive bed. There's no price there. It's not say it's expensive, but there's things in here that I think you're right are alluring to the fact that this is an affluent thing. This is a desirable thing. You've missed one key thing. Josh did say with the back pain, that we're targeting people with back pain. Are we really targeting people with back pain? Has this lady sitting on this bed got back pain? Does she look like she's got back pain? Is she sitting there going,
you buy this bed and you won't have any back pain?
She looks happy.
She looks happy. She looks, so I've got this bed, I don't have back pain. Okay, so it's an aspiration of a don't have back pain. But actually, if you think about it, what percentage of what, if you looked at this sort of, these, this would be a couples thing, what percentage of males and females generally have back pain?
Over 50. The target.
Over 50
Over
between
50.
between male and female. Who generally has the back pain?
Probably male.
Male. Okay, so males generally have more back pain than women. Yet there's a woman on the. Why isn't a bloke on the bed? Who makes the decision in a household to buy a new bed? Is it the man or is it the female?
Generally the woman.
It's the woman.
Mm.
Blokes will put up with it forever.
Mm.
Because who suffers, from a person with a bad back?
Yeah.
The other person, because they're tossing and turning, they can't sleep, and they're causing. We're asleep. Okay, we'll whinge and moan about it, but blokes put up with. They just like whinging and moaning. So this is the target market is women over 50. And look at the thing. At last, my agony is over. My agony of sleeping with him, who's got a bloody back pain, it's not specific that I've got the back pain. It's written very, very cleverly that if you've got back pain and you are a woman, it will pick you up. But it's also at another level where, if you're a woman and you don't have back pain, but you've got a partner who's got back pain, then you'll make that decision. And blokes tend to be more logical in their buying decisions. Females tend to be more emotional in their buying decisions. Just guys and gals, it's what the studies say. Okay, this is how we tend to buy things. So it's very much sort of targeted for women over 50 that have an experience of themselves or somebody with back pain. So it's it's written very specifically for this target market. If I don't have back pain and I'm not over 50, I generally it won't pull me in. I'll just always buy, and that's fine because I don't want you. I don't want you to read my advert. So the headline, the interest. Okay, so what draws me into this advert? So you've grabbed my attention. So you've got my 3 seconds. I've looked at it and go, oh yeah, that's me. What draws me into actually reading more?
Because it's written to look pretty much like a Daily Mail article.
Excellent.
And if you're fundamentally, if you're reading a newspaper, you want to learn things.
Yep.
So the fact it's written to look like an article encourages you to read it, learn, take it as truth.
Bang on. It's very similar to what I'm already reading. I'm in the mode for reading newspaper print, hence the column, the way it's laid out. If you did that on social media, it wouldn't work because I'm not in that space. Okay, so that's a good point on the sort of the copy side of things. What else draws you in to read more? What's going on here? Has anybody spotted the real psychological manipulation that's going on here?
Like it's got a signature on it, so it's sort of slightly more relatable because people have you. You've put your name to that when you say something. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't
think it matters, but
she may have been famous in the die, so it might have been, endorsed. So an endorsement. What I say about me is a lie. What other people say about me is the truth. So it could be an endorsement. We've got a testimonial there, putting something in quotes, draws me in. That creates the oh, somebody said something about this. So that's drawing me in. It's all good stuff. Anything from our chat box? Might guarantee. Oh, no! You've jumped way
So 60-day trial, guarantee, money back, trial offer. I'll come back to that. That's not, we're not in the interest bit at the moment. There's something really subtle about this that's going on.
The handprint, the squishy.
Great.
Normal beds don't do that.
Yep.
So it's interesting that this
Yep.
one does.
So, so in one picture, I've got the uniqueness of this bed across. Okay. This bed is unique because you can put your hand in and it stays there. So pictures speak 1,000 words. If you can get across what it is that's different, yeah, then you're going to create, oh, that's interesting. Now, the picture's good. The other thing is the location of the picture. See, what's happening here is the, I don't know if I can.
Is that like, it's supposed to be her significant other's hand? I don't know if my eyes are a bit weird, but it looks like her arm's in the top left-hand corner of the picture, and then he's putting his hand down.
You're reading good.
This is selling me a mattress, I have to say.
Oh, I don't think I can. I'm going to lose that. If you look at the, if you look at the way this is laid out, okay, when we read something, yeah, we read in the Western world, we read from the top left, yeah, to right, top to bottom. Okay, so left to right, top to bottom. So we actually, when we browse things, when we look at them quickly, we actually read it as Z pattern. Okay, so we go top left, get the headline. Move along to the right, we read the headline. We're captured then by a lady's head. Okay, why is she lying there? We move down her body, okay, which is pointing in the bottom left-hand corner. So it's our natural path. It's following her body. We see the handprint, yeah, and then we go all the way down. We then hit with some accreditations, so some social proof. Yeah, we're hit with the call to action. Yeah, and then when we leave the page, in the bottom right-hand corner, what do we see? The logo. See, the logo is the least important part of this advert. Now, most people, when they advertise, yeah, they put the brand at the top. This is who we are, yeah, and then they've wasted the headline. They've wasted all that great copy space just to promote who they are. No one cares who you are. They only care about themselves. So this beauty, this way, and they tried different layouts. I mean, this advert took over 9 months to produce. Okay, they do the advert, they put it in local magazines, they'd see if they got any responses, they change it, and I mean, in those days, it took 9 months to do it. You could do this now with an advert in a week. Because you basically just do 5 different adverts, you put it up on social media and see which one gets the best hits. Okay, and this is where there's a science and skill and creativity that comes in. I can't give you the blueprint. I can give you what has worked, because I know this is a multi-million-pound advert. Yeah, so the essence of this is right, but you've got to take this and then create that into the adverts that you produce. Okay, so interest, testimonials, pulls me into the interest. Some good copy. If you read the, I mean, you guys aren't going to read the copywriting, but you know, if you look into this, there's nothing about us. We do this, we do that, we do the other. If you put we in your thing, we basically say you're weeing all over yourself. And when you wee all over yourself, it makes you feel good for a few minutes, and then you realise you stink. Okay, so it's all about them. They are the hero. Okay, it's all about, the copy is all about how they're going to feel when they've actually bought your product. Pictures speak 1,000 words. The desire, free stuff. You know, this is about, nobody's going to buy a £2,000 bed off an advert in a newspaper. So, okay, no one's going to buy a bed for £2,000 in a newspaper. So what do they want to do then? What's if you go back to their call to action,
generate the lead, so qualified leads.
I want a lead. I want somebody showing some interest in this.
Get them on the sales line so they can then sell them.
So either pick up the phone, and so I can send you a brochure, send you a sample. I can send you something, or fill the coupon in. Today's world would be the website. Give them options of how they would like to communicate to you. Again, know your target market. If you're targeting over 50s in today's world, you might get them on Facebook, but you'll have a better chance of getting a response if they actually fill something in or pick up the phone. If you're dealing with 16-year-olds, then I have no idea how 16-year-olds work, and you'll have to find a 16-year-old and ask them, because I have no idea. But they'll have their own unique way of liking to actually communicate. Okay, so the pictures, the accreditation. Now, if you look at those accreditations, there's one on space, there's sleep good, feel good, 15-year guarantee. I mean, they don't mean anything or don't really, but actually having them there gives that credibility to this advert. Okay, and then the offer, this 60-night trial offer is what we call a puppy dog closer. So there's an advert at the moment, the Emma bed. Have you seen that one? Which is the same as this, apart from you can now get it through the post. They give it a 200-night free trial or money back trial. So you can have the bed for 200 nights. And if you don't like it, you give it back. Piece of genius in my book. Because again, that resistance, they're reducing resistance, because what if I don't like it? But once you've had it for 60 nights, well, you can't send it back, can you? Because what have you done with the old mattress?
Yeah.
You're not going to hang on to your old mattress for 60 nights, are you? So it's basically they know that once you've got it, even if it's not much better, you'll still keep it. But the guarantee's there. It takes away that risk. There's no risk. If you don't like it, give it back. So, okay. And then the call to action, old people love coupons. And the logo is the least important part, but it's the lasting thing. As you leave the page, you leave remembering his temper bed. Okay. Here's an email version of this. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's a little bit small, but this is a guy, Peter Thompson, who emails me every week. I must buy for him on that. I did. I bought his entire education suite, so some of his stuff comes with him. So this is an email again. Headline. Kevin Stanton, my name in the headline. In the subject line. It's going to make me look. I'm not going to not look at something that says my name in it. Attract more clients. He knows that I'm a coach. He knows that's what I'm interested in. How to attract more clients. There's a picture, there's a video. That's enticing me now to push the video. What's he got to say? And look at his copy. Really short, sharp. He's writing as I communicate, as we communicate in emails. You write emails that have got long copy. No one's going to read it. No one's going to read it. It's just pointless. I find it's really difficult to get down what I'm trying to sell concisely into an email. But you have to get it through. Otherwise your bounce rates, people are just not going to open it. Okay, so nice, punctuated. It's nice, simple to read, simple to understand. And just click to watch. Show me how. Lots of call to actions in it. It's one of the best examples of an email marketing that I've been able to find. Okay, so each medium you use has its own set of rules, but please, we went through this when Twitter came out and everyone was marketing on Twitter, and it was just like a car crash. It was, it's just people were just, and then the Bitly links at the end. It's like no one's interested. I haven't found a way to actually market on Twitter yet. It's just I don't get it. So if somebody knows how to do it and has come up with something, then please let me know, because I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying I can't get my head around it. So just to finish up then, so we now know our target. We've got a compelling offer.
we now understand how to put good copy together using the AIDA principle, okay, and the psychology, understanding our markets. The final thing we've really got to understand is, what gets measured gets done, what gets measured gets improved. Okay, so we have to, marketing is maths, you have to measure every darn thing you do in marketing. Okay, do not do any marketing unless you have a way of measuring it. Otherwise, you're just going to waste money. I would put one proviso. I generally allow my clients to spend 10% of their marketing budget on brand. Stuff you can't measure. 10%. So if you've got a budget of 2,000, you can spend 200 quid on whatever you want just to get the brand out there. But no more than 10%, because otherwise you're just a gamble. It's just like you may as well go to the bloody casino, put it on red, you've got more chance of winning. So our key performance indicators, again, as we said before, have got to be tied back to the budget, back to our targets, our sales, our profit targets. We've got to understand in marketing we have two KPIs, a leading KPI, which is activity based. So what I do, so if it's email, how many emails do I send? And a lagging KPI, which is the result, which is I sent 200 emails, I got 50 click-throughs. Okay, so we've got to always be looking, I do this, I get this. I do this, I get this. There's no point in doing stuff in marketing and not getting anything. So we've got to have this. Now, some marketing has a big lag. It could be a 3-month lag. That's tough. Okay, but there's ways you can do that. So in the old days, we had Yellow Pages. I mean, you guys won't remember Yellow Pages, but that was a big book of where you had to advertise if you wanted to sell your need-based product. I needed something, I'd go to the Yellow Pages, and then I'd find a number. Okay, so in the end, we ended up with unique telephone numbers for each advert. So we knew that if that phone number went, we knew it came from that advert. If that phone number went, it came from that advert. Today, it's about landing pages. You have multiple landing pages that link people through, so you can, I do this, I get this. So everything must be measured. And the way that we track that, this is again, if you get to this level of detail, again, please email me. I've got a template of this. This is my 10 by 10 marketing KPI sheet. Okay, so we're actually, in this case, we're looking for 10 marketing strategies. So we've got telemarketing down to e-shots. Yeah, we've got our cost to market. Yeah, we've got the goal there, increase sales by 10% to 50K a month. We've got our cost of sale, so cost to market. We've got our activity that we're going to do and the target of activity. We've then got the number of conversion rates. So to take telemarketing, I'm going to have 10 leads, which gives me 2 meetings, which gives me 1 sale, which makes me 500 quid. So this, the 5,000 on the right-hand side, relates back to achieving that goal that we're after. So everything is linked with marketing with a purpose, not just marketing for marketing's sake. And then we can put in the actuals, of the actual activity each month. So did I achieve the activity? Did I get the result? If we do this over a number of months, we then understand what's working, what's not working. Do more of what's working, move the budget from things that aren't working into stuff that is working. If we keep doing that, we do end up with this marketing machine that we're comfortable to actually put more money into. Okay, Chris has got a classic one. So for him, his biggest marketing strategy is Auto Trader. Okay, if you sell second-hand cars, you have to be on Auto Trader. It's not cheap. Yeah,
$5 grand a month.
£5 a month to be on Auto Trader, but he knows through his KPIs how many leads that generates every single month. Okay, so he knows his return on investment, and he knows that it's worth continuing to do that. And if he could spend more money on it, he would. But you can't. Once you're in it, you're in it. You can't actually spend more money on it. So, to summarise, I think we're pretty much at 6 o'clock, which is a bloody miracle. This is the first one we've done it this way. So, to summarise, the best book that really gets to the detail of what I've talked today is this book,
by Peter Knight called The Highly Effective Marketing Plan. Okay? Because it basically goes through that process. It starts off with identify your goals. Be very, very clear what your marketing goals are. Okay? Once you know your goals, identify your target market. And I love his little comment here. He says, what are they currently thinking and what do you want them to think? Because that's what marketing's trying to do. If they're thinking this, you want them to think that. Okay, so it's understanding that psychology of what's going on in their head. If you understand that, then your message, your story, how you get your message across to them becomes relatively easy. And once we know our story, our USP, our brand story, then we can use our medium to market. We can actually get that out to them, and we have to then control it and measure it. And those really, I said, when I said target, offer, copy, those three, with those three just expanded slightly. Just added the goal setting and the measurement, which we use for everything that we teach in Action Coach is based around, test and measure. Clear goals, measure our progress towards it. Then things actually happen. So, your home fun is set your marketing goal. Okay, sit down, look at your numbers, really set. And obviously, those guys that are the marketing managers, this is what you've got to go back to your bosses, go back to the owners, and say, right, what's the goal? What do you want me to achieve with marketing? Yeah, and you may need a bit of support. If you want my help in that, then please, we'll have a joint session. We can go through that. Identify limiting beliefs. So, around marketing, it's good to be honest with yourself. If you've got some limiting beliefs about marketing, then write them down. Write all of your fears, all of the things you dislike about it. Write them down in a list, and then review that list with somebody, and then work on it. Because once you've written them down, you've admitted to them, then you can do something about it. If they're just stuck in your head, you won't actually change. And to be honest, that book, the hemp book, is a great place to start. It really does demystify. When I read it, I actually understood, because I didn't come from a marketing background. I'm an accountant, far away from marketing you can possibly get. And so marketing for me was this sort of, and I'd speak to marketers and go, oh, wow, blah, you must be really good, because they give you all this, excuse my French, but this bullshit around what it is. And then when I did my research and read that book, I suddenly went, it's easy. Generate me some leads. I don't care how you do it. That's where the skill comes in. But for me, running a business, I need to know that you're going to generate me leads. And then write up your hemp marketing plan. So if you don't have a plan already, again, ping me an email. I'll send you. You can get it. I'm not sure if you can get it from he used to give the plan away on the website. I don't think he does that anymore. But I've got a copy of his old plan. I can send you a copy of the marketing plan. For those that are working with me anyway, we're already doing that in your 90-day plan. So we'll stick to the 90-day plan format. But for the guys visiting today, again, just email me and I'll send you the 90-day plan across. And that's it. So that is marketing in a nutshell. As I said, it is simple. There is nothing more complicated than what I've been through today. If you read any books, you boil them down, it will come back to those few principles. Is it easy? No, it's not. The actual creativity of it, the difference between poor copy, and good copy is poles apart. That advert I showed you, that took, I don't know how many. I think he said there's a team of 6 people on that for 9 months. It would have cost them, I know, hundreds of thousands of pounds to make that advert. But that advert produced millions of pounds of sales. And that's why we've got to understand that it's very rare do we spend too much on marketing. We spend too little. If we do spend too much, it's because we spend it in the wrong place. So we've really got to have this strategy and spend our time on it, because it's the one thing that
really drives your business to the next level. You get this right, you can achieve amazing things. So before we go, are there any questions anybody's got? So if you go back to what you wrote at the start about what you wanted to get at today, is there anything that I haven't answered? Because I'm sure there might be some people that just need to shoot off quickly. If there are, then fantastic. But if you've got a couple of minutes. So yeah, good. Thanks, Fatima. Yeah, have to shoot off. That's fine. Yeah, good. Ross got his 2 points. Cool. So what I'd like to, before you go, what I'd like you to do is just write down the one thing you're going to do as a result of today. So one commitment you're going to do. So every time. So I say to people that no one needs coaching, because coaches will actually get you to do work. Okay. So, but if you want to achieve things, then you need that support to actually give you a kick up the backside. So, what's the one thing you're going to do to commit to actually move forward? And what I'd like you to do is just email. So if you're going to send me I'd like a copy of this and this and this, whether you do that or not, send me that, but make sure you put your commitment on there, okay? Because what I'd like to do is just hold you to account to actually achieve that. And if I can help you in that process, then we'll have a chat on the phone, and I'll be happy to help out. Obviously, the guys that are working with me already will pick that up in our next sessions. So good. Well, I think that's fine for me. Anything from you guys here?
So a bit anecdotally, but from your clients, what's been the most effective marketing strategy they've used? So like a one-off, a bit like the memory foam mattress. Did you see and went, wow, that really worked, didn't it?
I mean, that one's worked really well. I mean, to be honest, the guys, if Sophie's still there, but the guys at Ava May, they've built a £2 million business up just from Instagram. So they knew their target market. They chose Instagram was their route to market. They got a bit of luck along the way. Certain what are they called? The influencers. So they've got a really good influencer. But the Facebook guy, just doing Facebook ads and selling leggings, they were just black leggings. So again, he knew his target market were middle-aged women of a certain age and certain demographic, and he sold loads of leggings to them. So I mean, product is easier. Product, if you've got a good product, without shadow of a doubt, it is easier. Service is more difficult, because service tends to be at that want and desire. You've got to educate people in that process. So cool. There was one more message just come through. Excellent. Good. Thanks, Russ. Good. Right. I think everyone's shooting off now. So great to see you guys. Thank you very much for being part of this first ever live version. I will do the recording. Again, if you want the recording, I'll probably get Jane to post that out to everybody. So till we see you next time, take care.
Bye.